Pursuits. It's been a while since we posted a video. We've been busy bear hunting this spring. We've been hunting both Montana and Idaho. And we've also been working on a really good project for digital scouting and different techniques, software, apps, and theories. So it's going to be a multi-part series. So I've been working hard on that. So I hope to have that out in the near future. But today we're going to talk about rendering bear fat. So we've been really lucky with our bear hunting this year. I killed a really nice Montana bear a few weeks ago, spot and stalk. And then 2 days ago, I killed a very large bear for me, my largest bear yet, in Idaho. And so today we're going to take the fat from the second bear. The first bear, I'm going to do that following the video. The fat is frozen. We froze it. But this fat was fresh from the bear. And we're going to render that fat and kind of show you the process we went through. So in this picture, you can see, in this short video clip, you can see the fat in the crock pot. I apologize, I didn't film the cutting up part of it. And you can see that I cubed that meat into very small, pretty small cubes, maybe a centimeter or less. And then made sure that all of the meat was removed from the fat. I didn't really want that too much of that bear meat flavor in the oil. So we made sure we were really careful and removed all of the meat from the fat. Then we took that cubed fat, and there's a lot of methods you can use. There's a dry method, there's a wet method, there's different methods, but for a person that doesn't do it a lot, this crock pot method was really great because it kind of takes care of controlling some of the variables and takes out less chance for you to have a problem with too much heat or too long or not enough. So the crock pot on low setting, the first batch we did I think it was about 5 hours. The second batch went about 8 or 9 hours. And it's a little darker than the first batch, but it still smells amazing, and I think it's going to be outstanding. So we'll take a look at it when we get it out. But so I put the fat in it, added nothing to it. Just put the fat in the crock pot, turned it low, and then right off the bat, within the first 45 minutes, 30 or 45 minutes, I did turn it a few times to make sure that as that oil started to render out, that it had some lubricant in the bottom, and that helped the process. But once it gets going, it kind of takes care of itself and kind of starts bubbling a little. So we've now finished this up. It's still pretty warm. So we have it in a standard crock pot. I'm going to strain it through a bowl strainer because the stuff is like brown gold. It's that good. It's amazing. Last night we cooked we coated some potatoes with the oil and put them in the oven and kind of with some garlic and seasoned them up. They were outstanding. And then we did some stir fry, some elk stir fry using this bear fat / lard. It was incredible. So we're going to take out these crinkles, for lack of a better term. I cannot remember the term for the crackles. The crackling, I guess is what they call it, from rendering this fat out. A lot of people eat these. I haven't yet. I may try it today on this batch. They smell outstanding. The one thing about this, when you're rendering this fat in your house, you've got to like the smell of it. It does permeate. It's really not that overpowering, but it's got a little bit of a strong nature to it as it's processing. Okay, so we're gonna get that. Every drop looks good. Put these over here for now. Okay. Now we're going to strain this out and just into a jar. Again, you can use a smaller strainer. This strainer is is fine for what I like. I mean, I don't care if a few small particles get through. As far as I'm concerned, it adds to the, see if I can do this without being too hot and not make a huge mess. Not bad. All right, let's push this out of the way. So, get out, we strained the rest of the smaller particles out now. Now, we're just gonna take a look at this. That's kind of all there is to it. So, we're just gonna put it in I'm gonna keep this lid off as it cools. I'm just gonna put it on for a second to be able to pick it up and show it's a little warm still. But you can see that this oil batch is a little bit of it's got a little darker consistency to it. I don't think that's gonna hurt any of the product. It certainly isn't got a burnt smell or anything like that. So this is what it looks like when it's still warm. This is the first batch, jar number 2 of the first batch we did. This has been sitting out room temperature, and you can see it starting to solidify just like lard or normal grease would, like bacon grease would, without, it's very clean. The strainer worked really well. There's just no byproduct in this. And then here is a jar from that same batch that I put in the freezer, and you can see it's you know, obviously really solidified, and it's ready to go. So these 3 jars were the result of the last bear, and I probably could have done a better job getting more fat. As good as this was last night, I'm going to be like a vulture on my bear carcasses from now on. I'm going to get every drop of fat off of those bears. I did a pretty good job on this bear, but I know in my mind I could have got a little bit more squeezed out of this. So anyway, so this is 1 bear, so I suspect my second bear will be very close to this, maybe slightly less, but that'll give us enough of the product for cooking for a whole year. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that gives you a little motivation to go a little bit further with your harvest. So with this bear, we not only rendered the fat, but we made cubed meat. We like to cook it in the crock pot, bear in the crock pot, seasoned up, like bear tacos, love that stuff. And then we also ground some bear into some hamburgers so we can cook with it as well. So we did the ground meat, we did the chunk meat, we did the rendered the oil, and we cut up the long bones to make bone broth. So we're doing our best, like every hunter should, to use as much of the animal as possible. And I think that if you try this, it's very simple to do, and it's really quite amazing. I did not do this on my last bear, and I'm really sorry that I didn't, but I will be doing it from now on in the future. You can follow us on Instagram at treelinepursuits.com. We really appreciate if you subscribe to our channel, and like I said, I've got a really nice project coming out on digital scouting, and season's coming soon. Get out there and enjoy the backcountry.